Guys, guys, everyone, check your audio and video settings. Please check your audio and video settings, please. Any newcomers are there? Today, any newcomers are there? Yes, first session, uh, video is there in Naresh IT YouTube channel. You can go and watch. Anyhow, I will revise. Yesterday's discussion today. You will get backup. At the same time, you can watch. Okay. Fine. Where is our document? This is the document. So before that, yeah. So this is the document that is available in our group also. So this is my email ID, natraz@gmail.com. Okay. So this is your batch code. And to attend Cybernet, core Java and little bit of JDBC, little bit of SQL is required. Fine. 75 sessions to 85 sessions are required. Don't count days, count sessions. Okay, na? Okay, if you have any queries, administrative queries, you can contact Mr. Srikanth. This is his phone number. So this is our group here. Natraj Java Arena is my Facebook group. So everyday content will be uploaded to this group. You can collect from the group. Fine. So let me show. youtube.com/nareshit. youtube.com/nareshit. So I think, listen, this is yesterday's session, 25th June, 9 o'clock. Yesterday's session, this is, okay, fine. Those are interested, they can collect the backup from here. That's it. Those are interested, they can collect the backup from here. Okay, boss. Shall we get into the discussions now? Yes, let's get into the discussions now. Yesterday we didn't talk much about Hibernate. I was preparing background to launch Hibernate. I was preparing background to launch what is war mapping. Why? Hibernate is there to develop war mapping persistence logic. Okay, right. When I will start another Hibernate batch, sir. So I cannot say, boss, it takes another 2-3 months minimum. It takes another 2-3 months minimum. Concentrate on this batch. Fine. So first we understood what is persistence. The process of storing and managing data for a long time is called as what? Persistence. But to perform persistence, RAM memory is not sufficient. Okay. RAM memory is not sufficient. We need to have secondary memory devices like hard disk, CD, DVD, thumb drives, nothing but pen drives kind of thing. So let me very clear, the data stored in your variables, the data stored in objects of Java application or any other technology application, okay, is not persistence, is not at all persistence operation. Because they allocate memory, heap stack memories of JVM memory, and this JVM memory is part of RAM memory. And you know that RAM memory will be providing memory for application execution. Once application execution is over, okay, RAM memory for the application will be vanished. Same memory will be utilized for another application execution. So that's why the data, the value stored in variables, the value stored in object does not fall under persistence activity. If you write that data to files, if you write that data to database software, because files and database software allocate memory in secondary memory devices like a hard disk, then that falls under what? Persistence. Are you understanding my point there? Super, boss. Right. In that process, we discussed some important terminologies here. Persistence store. The place where data will be saved and managed for a long time is called as what? Persistence store. Persistent data. The data of persistence store is called persistent data. The manipulation you do on the persistent data comes under persistence operation. Nothing but performing insert, update, delete, and select operation. In shortcut, they are also called as CUD or crude operation. Some part of industry also calls them as CUD operation. C for create, insert, U for update, modify, R for read, select, D for delete. Persistence logic. The logic that is written to perform CUD operation is called persistence logic. IO streams code, JDBC code, Hibernate code, Spring JDBC code, Spring ORM code, Spring data code. All this comes under what? Persistence logic. Don't worry, while teaching Spring, we are going to learn Spring related persistence logic. In Hibernate classes, we are going to learn Hibernate persistence logic. Okay, in advanced Java class, you might have already studied JDBC code. Anyhow, those who don't know JDBC, nothing to worry. Next month, 6th onwards, 4 p.m., JDBC batch is decided. Advanced Java that starts with JDBC is decided. Advanced Java that starts with JDBC is decided. Okay, and we are having IO stream logic. What logic here? Core Java level IO streams. These many are there. When to use which, whether outdated or not, I will discuss later. Nothing is outdated, all are doing well. Maybe in different places, people uses different options. That's it. Okay, boss. So learning Java is all about learning language, nothing but core Java. Learning technologies, nothing but advanced Java, JDBC, Servlet, JSP. Learning frameworks like Spring and Hibernate. Spring and Hibernate. Fine, right. Persistence technology or framework or tool. The technology or framework or tool using which we develop persistence logic, okay, is called as persistence technology or framework. Yes, people are asking any new Spring batch, new web service batch. Web service batch, put request in the office, they may assign. Spring new batch takes time. Hibernate new batch takes time. Can I take all these non-technical queries at the end? Non-technical queries at the end. If you have attended Agile workshop, earlier, you are very much eligible to attend. Okay, even Jira workshop. To attend as a Jira, Agile is the prerequisite. Okay, boss. Fine. Persistence technology or framework. Okay, lastly, we framed one statement here. What is that statement we have? Persistence technology or framework is a tool that is given to develop persistence logic to perform persistence operation on persistent data of persistence store. Persistent data of persistence store. Are you getting my point there? Fine. Then we discussed about data storage technologies and data access technologies. The software using which we can store and manage data for a long time are called data storage technologies. Data storage softwares, Oracle, MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, all these are capable of storing what? Data and managing data for a long time. That's why they come under what? Data storage technologies, right? Data access technologies, okay? Data access technology. The technologies are framework using which we connect to database software. We try to access data from database software and we try to manipulate data of database software. Comes under what? Comes under what? Okay. So data access technologies. What technologies here? Data access technologies or framework or softwares. Your JDBC, Hibernate, Spring JDBC, okay, all this comes under what? Data access technologies or data access software. After that, we discussed about different ways of doing persistence from Java application. Java application takes the support of IO streams to perform persistence operation on flat file. That means to perform insert, update, delete, select operations on flat file, it will take the support of IO streams. Morely like what? Serialization and deserialization. Understanding my point there? Yes. I think, yes, once this count is reached to 500, they will start the YouTube live streaming. They will start the YouTube live streaming. I think within 2-3 minutes, they will start. Wait for it. Next. Same Java application can use, okay, JDBC or WAR mapping to perform persistence operation on RDBMS database softwares. RDBMS database softwares. Okay, boss. Okay. Java application can interact with what? Object database software. They are also called as object oriented database software, OOD. Can interact with database software like Wakanda, Object Store, ODABA, etc. etc. That time it has to use what? JDBC plus SQLJ. JDBC plus what? SQLJ. Fine, boss. Right? These are the options. First, yesterday we ruled out why flat files are not good for as persistence store. Okay, na? Why flat files are not good. I'm coming. Today I'm concentrating, going to talk on what? These two options only. Everyone focus. Why flat files are not good as what? Why flat files are not good as, not good as persistence store. No security, no constraint, no SQL support. Getting data from data with multiple conditions is very complex. Performing update and delete operations are very complex. No relationships. Merging and comparison of data is very complex. That means no joins. No joins are there. To solve this problem, take the support of database softwares. Okay, then we can solve the problem. But now listen carefully. Java is full of objects, and nowadays all trending languages are object-oriented languages. Agree with me? Object-oriented programming languages. Object-oriented programming languages. From my side, no. Is there any audio issue? Is there any audio issue from my side? I think I'm very loud and clear. Yeah, focus, focus, focus. I'm coming to the actual discussion of today's. Please focus. Fine. Yes, using files also we can perform delete and update operation, but very lengthy process is there. Okay, lengthy process is there. Since someone asked, let me spend 1 minute on this one. Someone Hindu has asked one question. How we can do delete and update operation while working with the files? Not directly, but indirectly we can do that. Okay, I will show that. So let us assume you have employee.txt. Let us assume you have employee.txt having 101 Raja Hyderabad, job is clerk. 102 Ramesh Hyderabad, job is manager. Similarly, 103 Jani, okay, Delhi, okay, Delhi. What is this? Designation is again clerk. I want to delete second record. This is my requirement. Not directly by opening file. By opening file is very easy. Through application I want to do. Using Java application or some other front-end application. Using one or other application, I want to do it. Now let's focus. Directly not possible. What it will do, you know, first it will read record by record or line by line. A record is nothing but each line is one record. While working with the IO streams, each record is nothing but one line, one line. It will record, it will read record by record. Cool. After reading first line, nothing but first record, it will check. Is it 102? Because I decided to delete 102 record, not other things, not other things. Is it 102? Is employee number is 102? No. Then it will write to one temporary file, temp.txt. It will write to one temporary file. Since it is not matching, it will write to temporary file. What is that? 101 Raja clerk. Then it reads second line, nothing but second record. Is it 102? Yes. It will stop writing to temporary file. Next it reads 103. Is it 102? No. It will write to temporary file. 103 Jani, Delhi. What is that? Clerk. 103 Jani, Delhi clerk. Are you getting my point there? Super. Super, super. Next. Then what they will do? They will delete this file and they will rename this file. They will delete this file and they will rename the file to employee.txt. They will rename the file to employee.txt. So ultimately what happened here? So ultimately what happened? Tell me, boss. Ultimately what happened? So we are getting the feeling of record is deleted or not there. Don't you think it's a complex process here? Come on. Yes, it's a complex. What about updations, sir? After reading 102, do modification and write here. That is modification. That is modification. So that's the reason delete and update operations are complex. Now listen. ODB softwares are OOD, object-oriented database softwares. I'll explain everything. You have to focus now. In the current trend or from last 10-15 years, industry is talking about object-oriented programming languages. There is no need of writing notes. Everyday content will be uploaded to Facebook group. Okay, right. There is no need of, you don't write anywhere. Everyday content will be uploaded to Facebook group. Is that clear? I don't write notepad. Why? Because I will use I will use diagrams and content together. So I want to keep both together. It's like a blackboard kind of thing. I cannot just write text content. Fine. Just a minute. I'll find out why they are not starting YouTube live streaming. See, boss, in my explanation, diagrams and text both will be there. So I have to use paintbrush only to write both. If I use notepad, maybe for you it's easy to copy paste. I know that. YouTube live streaming start చేయండి అమ్మా. మరి పిల్లలకి ఏం చెప్పాలి? ఇంకోసారి ట్రై చేయండి. ఒకసారి చూడండి. Guys, some technical problem is coming to start YouTube live streaming. They are working out. They are working out. Fine. So the moment technical problem is solved, you will get YouTube live streaming. Please come back. Okay. Please come back. Please come back. Yes. Yeah. Everyone concentrate, boss. Very, very important discussion. From last 10-15 years, Industry is talking about object-oriented programming languages. Everywhere we are getting objects, and people wants to store objects directly, because when inputs are coming in the form of objects, outputs are generated in the form of objects, and to do different activities we are creating objects. So better to persist objects directly, na? Better to persist objects directly, na? By keeping that in mind, we have got object oriented database software or object database softwares. Simple theory, boss. You are getting objects. You want to store objects. If you have an object database software, it would be nice, na? Come on, come on. Are you getting my point there? So by keeping that point in mind, okay, we have got object database software. Okay, fine. These database softwares can store software objects directly in database softwares as column values, directly in a database software as column values, and so useful while working with OOPS languages, because in OOP programming object we get everything as objects. We get everything as objects. We get everything as objects. Everyone concentrate. Let us assume I have a class. I have a class, student only I will take. Simple example I am taking. Private enter this one. Yes name. What is this? String SADD. Private to float to average. Some methods also there. Getter setter methods. Getters and setters. You know that getter methods are there to get the data. Setter methods are there to set the data. Some methods are there. Arey, don't think much, boss. Some methods. If you don't know what is getter setter also, no problem. Right now, I'm not worried about it. Yes, here I am creating constructor, boss. I'm creating object for student class. Student ST is equal to new student of. Let us assume I have a 4-param constructor. I have a 4-param constructor and I am calling that. Fine. Software object means any software object, boss. Real objects also will be there. Na? I'm giving very specifically software object. Don't think much. Any object, Java, anything. Okay, boss. Right. Okay, let's be. Fine, boss. Next address is this. Okay, average is 56.55. Some number. Or if you know how to work with the getter setter method, you can set this data by using setter methods also. Right now, that is not at all important for me. How does it looks, boss? Is basically student class object. Having these 4 values, 101 Raja, Hyderabad, 56.55. Yes, here is our ST. This ST points to this. This ST points to this. Nice, boss. Let us assume here we are having, ODB softwares or OOD softwares. Object database software, object oriented database software. Here we are having student DB table. What table here? Student DB table. What is that? Student DB table. Are you understanding my point there? Yes. Right. Here we are having one column. What is that column? One column. Actually, here, actually tables kind of story will not be there, but I'm just giving the feeling, okay, there is a table. So details. What is this? Details. In these details, they will try to store ST, boss. They will try to store ST, which also points to the same object. Which also points to the same object. So indirectly, object database software is storing what? Objects are not there. Object database software is storing what? Objects are not there. What's the good part here? The good part is object-oriented programming is giving objects and we are able to store the objects. Whenever we want, we can retrieve the object. Whenever you want, you can store the object. Whenever you want, we can modify the objects. Whenever we want, we can delete the object. We can work with objects straight away, right? We can work with the objects what? Very nicely. There's no need of converting simple values to object to store into table, objects to simple values. There is no need of any conversions. Can I talk about advantages of this? Pros. Pros of ODB or OODB softwares. Concentrate, concentrate. I know so many people not heard all these things earlier. But I'm not saying it is industry standard. They are outdated. They are utter flop. They are utter flop, no doubt in that. Okay. Why they are utter flop also I'm going to talk. But first see the positive side. We just introduced na. We just introduced. Okay. I think some technical problem is there, it seems. We will try to keep in the YouTube here. After the class, we will try to upload the video to the YouTube. Tell to your friends not to panic, not to panic. I think they got some technical problem. Don't worry. Monday, we will give 1,000 members link. By Monday, we will try to arrange what? 1,000 members link. Understanding? So that's why please submit your phone numbers, mail IDs properly. Correct phone numbers, correct mail IDs so that we can communicate and give. So that we can communicate and give 1,000 members link to you people. I think I heard nearly 700 plus members are attending class, 500 here, 200 in what? YouTube live streaming. So this 500, YouTube is giving sometime technical issues. So Monday or Tuesday, we will be ready with what? 1,000 members link. So please drop your numbers properly so that we can communicate and give that 1,000 members new Zoom ID. Fine, let's come back. Let's come back. Pros of ODB software. In object-oriented programming. Today my first class, where should I? While login, it might have asked for registration form. Now, if you have already submitted, leave it, not problem. At the time of logging, you might have asked for registration. You submitted your email ID, phone number, fine, leave it. So it will come to our people. In object-oriented programming, we get objects. We get objects everywhere. Okay, objects everywhere. And we can store them directly in DB softwares. Directly in DB softwares with that means there is no need of converting objects to simple values to objects and objects to simple values while doing persistence operations. While doing persistence operations. Are you getting my point there? Fine. This is a one advantage. All CORD operations, can be done directly on the objects. Directly on the objects. Next, no need of SQL. No need of SQL. Are you getting my point there? No need of SQL. No need of SQL. Okay, we can say these database softwares as NoSQL database softwares also. Why? When I'm dealing with objects directly, when I'm storing object directly, when I'm updating object directly, when I'm deleting object directly, when I'm doing everything on the object, what is the need of SQL? So that's why I can call these database softwares as what? NoSQL. I know MongoDB also one kind of NoSQL. But MongoDB also one kind of NoSQL. I too agree that. Okay, na? Fine. So you can call MongoDB also some kind of object database software also. No problem. But right now our focus is not on that. So I hope you understood the advantages part. Okay. Let's concentrate on cons part. Cons of ODB softwares. ODB softwares or ODB softwares. Focus and nicely concentrate. Number one, does not allow to keep data in relationships. Does not allow to keep data in relationship. Nothing but objects in relationship. Sorry, when you are storing in the database, you cannot keep one object in relation with another object. But relationships are very, very important in real life. That's why RDBMS database softwares are huge hit. Though there are so many types of database software, why RDBMS database softwares are successful in the market? Because of foreign key, because of relationships. Does not allow to keep data or objects in relationship. This is one major drawback. Number two, the language in which you are creating software object. Array, nothing but Java object, .NET object. Sir, why are you highlighting software object? Array, human beings also objects are, but they are not software object. And everything in this world is object. All objects cannot be stored in what? Database software, object-oriented database software. Got it or not? That's why I'm trying to use the word called object. If you are not comfortable, leave it. The language in which you are creating software object, okay, language must have compatibility with, 1 minute, the language in which you are creating software object should also in which you are creating software object should have compatibility with ODB software. Sir, I didn't understand. Suppose your software object is there in Java. So you have to take Java based ODB software. Your software object is there in C Sharp. You have to take .NET based ODB software. Your software object is there in some other language. Okay, you should take that language based ODB software. Come on, boss. This is the biggest challenge, Ra Babu. This is the biggest challenge. Are you understanding my point there? Suppose to work with Java objects, we need to take Java based object oriented database software. .NET objects, we have to take what? .NET based object database software. So that means there is a tight coupling between object oriented programming language and it's what? Object oriented database software. Agree with me or not? Understanding my point there? Object oriented. So what it says, there is tight coupling between tell me, object oriented database software and the language in which the software objects are created. In which the software objects are created. In which the software objects are created. Yes. Mr. Pavan Kumar, I appreciate your doubt, but you have not seen this statement. No need of SQL. We can call these database softwares as database NoSQL database software. And you are talking the same point which I already discussed. Fine. All code operation can be done directly on the objects. Please listen the class properly. Fine. Mr. Tell me what is the new concept that you found in this statement, Ra? No need of SQL means there is no need of SQL queries to fetch data from database software. That's what I have explained, na. Please don't join lately. Don't get problems. Attend from minute once. Because I am not a faculty who teaches without worrying about your concentration. When you ask question, I have to respond. But if you come lately and if you ask question, it will waste the classroom time. So try to be regular and punctual, please. Because it's a waste of taking same point again 10 times for 10 different angles. So that's why please put some seriousness while attending classes. Constraints of ODB software or OBDs. Next one. Against of okay, against of normalization rule number 1, form number 1. I think you heard at least a terminology called a lot of database and lot of SQL knowledge is I'm going to use. If you don't have no problem, I will improvise that. What is normalization rule number 1 here? I think total 3 forms or 4 forms of normalization is there to design best database tables. What is normalization rule number 1 or form number 1 says? Okay. Normalization rule number 1 or what? Formalization says, don't store multiple values. Don't store multiple values in a single column. ऐसा होना. Normalization rule number 1 form 1 says, don't store multiple values in a single column. But what I am doing, boss? What I am doing here, one column, one object, nice, but one object is having how many values? 4 values are there. 4 values are there. It says Take different columns for different values. Don't store multiple values in single column. But it's not saying foreign key and all this stuff. That is a third form. Okay. It says try to store different values in different columns. It says don't store multiple values in single column. Always store multiple values in multiple columns. Yes, but definitely it is against of that one or not there. Yes. Next, not industry standard. These are not industry standard database software. These are not industry standard. These are not industry standard database software. Okay. So very less people are aware of these database softwares here. So because of this, people again started thinking about what? RDBMS database softwares only. Relational database management database softwares. Are you getting my point? Actually, we have 4 types of database softwares in the market. Number 1. Okay, what is this? Hierarchical HDBMS. Hierarchical database management system database software. Hierarchical. What is that? Hierarchical. Hierarchical database management. Hierarchical. Hierarchical database management system. Database management system. Next, okay, ND, network database management database softwares. Understanding my point there, super boss. What is this? Copy this, paste it. Network database management system. Guys, please come back. There's a disturbance in power. I got power fluctuation. Don't worry, within 1-2 days, I'll sort out this problem by arranging UPS. Don't worry. So a lot of power fluctuations are happening in my place today. Fine, concentrate here. Yes, I'll sort out the problem. Actually, though I have inverter, but the inverter is, I think it has become old. It has become old. That's why it's giving power continuity, but that breakdown is happening. Fine. Fine, boss. Nothing else. Shall we get into the discussions now? Fine. These are not industry standard database software. So these are the problems that are there with what? Object database software or object type of database software. I think somewhere I'm talking about what? Different types of database softwares. Okay, na? Different types of database softwares. All right. Number one, HDBMS. HDBMS. What is that? Hierarchical DBMS. Next, NDBMS. Okay. Network DBMS. Hierarchical database management. NDBMS database softwares. Yes. Next, RDBMS. What is this? RDBMS. Database softwares. What is this? Relational. No doubt relations are very, very important. Relationally popular. Lastly, what is this? Lastly, okay, if you are watching in mobile, just to rotate your mobile, it will be solid. Those are saying full screen is not coming. Okay, next one. OODBMS database softwares. Fine, boss. Okay, object oriented or object oriented DBMS. Yes, listen here. No doubt RDBMS is very popular. RDBMS is very popular in the market. No second thought in that. But people have tried to work with ODBMS here. Are you understanding my statement? Yeah, I think now it's okay. Now concentrate. People have really tried to work with ODBMS, but some limitations are there, especially relationships are not there. And that too, people are already habituated to RDBMS. People have already habituated with what? RDBMS. So they tried with ODBMS, some really not working. Why? 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 Suppose if objects are there in Java, they need to work with the Java based object database software. If objects are there in .NET, they need to work with what? .NET based object database software. Impossible. That means somehow database softwares are typecasted for some languages. It's not going to work out. So today website is there in .NET. So number of customers are increasing. Are you getting my point? Number of customers are increasing, so size is increasing. I want to make it as big application, big website like e-commerce website all of a sudden. So then I don't work in .NET, I will move to what? Java. So when we move to Java, again, if someone says you have to change your data to what? Okay, Java based object database software from .NET based object database software, is it going to work out? Is not going to work out. And moreover, we cannot keep the data in relationships. So when these many issues are there, it's really meaningless to work with object database software. And moreover, okay, moreover, Industry is very crazy about RDBMS, and popular database softwares are also what? RDBMS, Oracle, MySQL, PostgreSQL, whatever latest, whatever crazy are there, they are given based on what? RDBMS database software, where relationships is the main component. Foreign key is the main component. Many other features are there, but foreign key is the main component. Are you getting my point there? Nice, boss. But one issue is there. These RDBMS database softwares are not ready to store objects. But Java application gives me full of objects. Are you getting my point there or not there? So now let me talk about people, people not shown. People had not shown any interest any interest on okay ODB softwares because of RDBMS database softwares popularity. Moreover, they are very much habituated with addicted, we can say addicted. They are very much habituated with RDBMS database softwares like Oracle, MySQL, and etc. Fine. But to talk with this RDBMS database software from our Java application, we have two options. What is first option here? Okay, one is to talk with this one, RDBMS database softwares. Listen, the way I'm bringing the things is very interesting. Okay, boss. Fine. MongoDB is useful, but in a different situation. In a different situation, you cannot bring that one here. So MongoDB is not a dedicated object database software. Is a NoSQL database, but it's not a dedicated object database software. It's a different situation. Fine. Okay, boss. Here we are having what option to talk with this? We have JDBC one option, OR mapping is another option, right? We have a JDBC one option, OR mapping another option. Okay, now let us see. No doubt, all popular database softwares are RDBMS, Oracle, MySQL, okay, PostgreSQL, and etc. Postgres, Sybase, lot of names are there. Now listen, whatever problems are there, and I will explain, Ra Babu. Please, when I write a word, don't ask me what is OR mapping, please listen, keep the habit of listening. I have written one word, sir, what is that? I have written another word, what is that? Don't waste your chat box like that. Keep the patience of listening. As of now, you remember OR mapping means object relational mapping. You will get to know. I'm about to launch that. Fine. Sir, our actually Hibernate code is nothing but OR mapping, Rababu. like Hibernate, because not only Hibernate, we have a lot of option to develop OR mapping persistence logic. Fine. Object relational persistence logic. For the time being, Hibernate code comes under, Hibernate style of persistence logic comes under OR mapping. But right now we are not bothered about it. Already JDBC is there. Already we are talking to database software using JDBC. Why not JDBC? What are the limitations of JDBC? Are you understanding my point there? Yes, that is what we need to understand. Then I will explain what is OR mapping. Then what are the advantages of OR mapping with respect to Hibernate. So like this, I have a plan of launching Hibernate. Everyone settled. See the way I brought it. I ruled out files. I ruled out object database software. So what is left? Popular one, RDBMS. Even HDBMS, MDDMS not popular. So don't worry about these types. You will be learning about this database management system in your Oracle classes. Come on. In your Oracle classes, you will study different types of what? Data DBMS. Okay. But everyone knows RDBMS is very popular. To talk to that RDBMS database software, we are having what? JDBC and VAR mapping operations. Okay. Now let's see limitations of JDBC to develop the persistence logic. So we should have a reason for not working with JDBC. Fine. That makes me to think about what? OR mapping. Limitations of JDBC to develop persistence logic. Anyhow, using JDBC, we develop persistence logic only. We don't develop any other logics. Fine. Number one, JDBC persistence logic is developed by using SQL queries, because we have to write SQL queries while writing JDBC persistence logic. JDBC is all about sending and executing SQL queries in database software. These SQL queries are database software dependent queries. Since SQL queries are database software dependent queries, whenever database software changes, queries will change. Queries are changing means JDBC code also changing. JDBC code is changing means JDBC persistence logic is indirectly database software dependent persistence logic. That means JDBC code is not portable across the multiple database softwares. Not portable across the multiple database softwares. What do you mean by portability? Ability of moving from here to there to here without having any changes. That is called portability. See, mobile number portability you observe. Mobile number portability you observe. Okay, you can change network without touching the number, without changing the number. Similarly, JDBC code is not portable, mean whenever I change database software, I have to modify code. This makes JDBC persistence logic is not portable. Everyone convinced with me or not there? So we develop JDBC persistence logic. We develop JDBC persistence logic. Okay. We develop JDBC persistence logic using SQL queries. Since SQL queries are database software dependent queries, we can say JDBC persistence logic is database software dependent persistence logic, and JDBC code nothing but persistence logic. Persistence logic is not portable across the multiple database softwares. Is not portable across the multiple database software. Sir, not portable, I modify. What's your problem? Array, modification of code is not that much easy. Moreover, you may ask me one question. Why people will change database software, sir? Once they decide Oracle, forever they will work with Oracle now. Who said? No, no. At the time of development, company is a small company. They cannot afford the cost of Oracle. They adjusted with MySQL. But after releasing the project, client is a rich client. He said, I want best. He demanded for Oracle. So there we need to work with Oracle. Okay, na? Since SQL queries are database software, we can say JDBC persistence logic is database software dependent persistence logic, and JDBC persistence logic is not portable across the multiple database software. Listen carefully. Now let me take one use case. Maybe it happened when I was there in my first company, very first company, which is very small company. Maybe hardly 10 to 15 members are there. Okay, daily myself and other team member used to sit with what CEO of company to take lunch. One 3 BHK flat kind of environment. Software company, 3 BHK flat kind of this one. Okay, right. That kind of environment here. Listen carefully. So one client came, I can say a popular client of a popular restaurant of Hyderabad, Paradise. Paradise came to our company. The restaurant Paradise, which is famous for chicken biryani in Hyderabad, came to our company uh, and asked our company, "Hey company, I don't have money problem. Give me best software to automate my operations. Give me best software, best project to automate my operations. Because I don't want to see any manual process. I want to automate it. Because though I am not present in the restaurant, I should not have any billing issues. I want to see everything happening transparently. I don't want to see my employee trying to cheat me. So everything should have, I want best software. I clearly, money is not a problem. Since he said money is not a problem, since he said money is not a problem, we used best software and commercial software. Oracle, instead of regular IDE, commercial IDE. At that time, J developer is bit popular. We have worked with that. Like this, we have taken best, and we designed and released. Client is happy. 2-3 years, client is happy. Maybe 1.5 years is very happy and invited to his restaurant giving lunch. Whenever we go to Paradise, okay, if we say we are from so and so company, they used to give discounts. All happies happen. After 1.5 years, Paradise competitor, one more restaurant is there, Bawarchi. They approached the same company saying that we also need what? Automation software which is given to Paradise people. But Bawarchi people said that budget is very less. So try to what? Minimize the budget. Since he said budget is less, maintenance cost he cannot have much. So that's why we used all free and open source software like MySQL and other open source IDE. Drivers also open source, servers also open source, everything open source we used. Right. He also taken project, he also happily running. Okay. Somehow one day between both owners discussion happened because some in a meeting they met or through common friends they met. Understanding my point there. Okay. So the Paradise fellow says that for this software I am spending 15 lakhs per annum. 15 lakhs per annum at that time is a big amount. This fellow said, I'm just doing everything with 4-5 lakhs. And in that discussion, they came to know both have taken software from same company. Both have taken software from what? Same company. Are you understanding my point? So then Paradise client came to what software company and started asking how it happened. For me, maintenance cost is 15 lakhs. For him, maintenance cost is 5-6 lakhs. Then we explained, you have taken all commercial thing. Every year you have to renewal their license. Okay, he has taken all open source, only development charges we have taken. So project maintenance cost is very less. Since we already developed for you, releasing him is a bit easy for us. That's why we charge it bit less. Then Paradise said, oh, do something. Please reduce my maintenance cost. So then we have to move Oracle to MySQL or not there. Oracle database software to MySQL or not. If persistence logic is there in JDBC, then what happens here? What happens here? there will be problem or not? There we have to modify the code. That is very, very horrible or not? Not only that case here, there will be so many cases. When project is under development in a small company, they cannot afford the cost of Oracle because it's a commercial one. They develop in MySQL. But when client demands, okay, during installation of the project, we have to give the setup of Oracle, or we have to give setup of another commercial database software or heavy or lightweight database software. So possibility is there. Possibility is there. Are you getting my point there? So that's why better to develop our persistence logic as what? Database software independent. But somehow JDBC code is not database software independent. I hope you convinced with me. I hope you convinced with me or not there. Yes. Note. Changing database software in the middle of development or production or before, okay, after development and before release is very complex. I'm not saying impossible, but it is very complex. And one more thing, boss, one more best part you want. So if any PL SQL procedures are there, they are different in different database software. They are also having some issues. Okay, na? Right. Fine. Next, B. JDBC persistence logic. JDBC persistence logic. Yeah, Oracle charges are a lot of money here because I have old figures. They used to charge 1 lakh rupee per annum at that time, but now it might be a big figure. Now it might be a big figure. Microsoft and Oracle database softwares are quite costly, boss. You know, for MS Office, they charge 70,000 sometimes. That much costly it is. Okay, fine. So JDBC persistence logic or code is having boilerplate code problem. What plate code here? Boilerplate code problem. Boilerplate code problem. Okay, na? Right. Look at JDBC code here. Yes. Now listen. JDBC driver is bridge between. Array, what is boilerplate code? That the code that repeats across the multiple parts of the project, across the multiple parts of the application, either with no changes or with minor changes, is called boilerplate code problem. Is called boilerplate code. Is also called redundancy problem, code redundancy. Are you understanding my point there? Fine. Okay, boss. Mr. Abhishek Tiwari, you are diverting your towards non-technical issues. Can you concentrate here? We will discuss at the end of the session. Please, please. If 700 members are having 700 different ways of thoughts, we cannot go further. Please, I will answer all your question at the end of the session. Can you please focus on the concept that is going on? So we have to conduct these online classes collectively. So if different people are having different thoughts, we cannot go further. I want to conduct interviews, interactive session. I'm keeping chat box on. So please, please utilize very intelligently. Let me explain the structure of our class. First 5 to 10 minutes revision. Previous class content will be revised. After that, 1-2 minutes, I will take the questions. After that, 1-2 minutes, I will take the question. Then I will take, okay, current day topic. For 1 hour, 35 minutes, I will take. Lastly, again, I will give 5 minutes time, like 5 to 10 minutes time to clarify all your doubts, both technical, non-technical, relevant, irrelevant. But when topic is going on, if I'm talking about X topic, if you get any doubt, give 5 to 10 minutes time to put that doubt in the chat box. After 5 to 10 minutes, also, if I am not discussing the subject in the angle you want, then put the word in the chat box. That too relevant to current discussion. That is healthy and we can go things further. Okay. So it's not like that I'm escaping. I'm trying to utilize classroom time more effectively. If everyone follow this pattern and agrees for this pattern, we can make our online sessions more interactive, more healthier, more useful sessions. Otherwise, it looks like someone expects something else I am delivering. Okay, it should not be like this. For because of one person, I cannot keep lots of people in idle state. Okay, so that's why please cooperate and please adjust to this pattern. It would be nice for you. It would be nice for me. It would be nice for entire online classes. Fine. I hope. Shall we go for the code that repeats? The code that repeats in multiple parts of application or project, either with no changes or with minor changes, is called boilerplate code. Is simply called what code here? Boilerplate code. Fine. Let's see. First one, if you take any JDBC application, what will be there? Load JDBC driver class to activate JDBC driver software. To activate JDBC driver software. First of all, tell me, JDBC driver is bridge between Java application and database software or not there? Are you getting my point there? Yes, it's a bridge. But how you activate? How we activate? If we can load JDBC driver class, one class is there, one driver class. Okay, with that, if you load that class, automatically JDBC driver will be activated. It's something like this here. Though there are so many details, okay, okay, on your ID card, but you are identified in Naresh IT with registration number. That's it. You are not identified with any other number. We are just identified with what? Registration number. Comfortable with me or not there? Super. Next. Establish the connection. Once bridge is ready, using that bridge, we can establish the connection or not. Connection with the database software. So JDBC code in Java application I am talking. Fine. Next one is what? Create a statement object. Already you know this. Okay, here bridge is ready, here road is ready, connection is ready, and statement object is like a vehicle here. Using this vehicle, I can give inputs to database software from Java application, nothing but SQL queries. I can execute those SQL queries. Are you getting my point? Okay. I can execute that query in what? Database software, and I can bring SQL query results back to Java application from database software. To do all these things, we need one object, and that object is nothing but statement object. So generally, I call statement object is a vehicle to carry inputs to database software from Java application, nothing but SQL queries, to execute them in database software, super, and to carry SQL query results back to Java application from database software. back to Java application from what? Database software. So it's a literally acts as a vehicle. This is a bridge. Using bridge, road is constructed. Connection is nothing but constructing the road. On this road, this vehicle will travel from Java to Java application to database, carrying inputs, SQL queries, executes them in database software. Same vehicle will carry, okay, will carry SQL query results back to Java application from database software. This time, whatever query results are there, those results will come. Cool, boss. Next. Next, send and execute SQL query in database software. From Java application, we'll send and execute SQL query. Next, again we use that one using statement object only. We do that. Gather results and process the results. Gather results and process the result. Cool. Once everything is over, JDBC code throws checked exceptions. Ra Babu, come on. JDBC code throws checked exception. Handle the exceptions. Handle the exception. Lastly, close JDBC objects. Lastly, close JDBC objects, including connection. Including JDBC connection. Understanding my statement there? Fine. Focus. Listen, boss. Mr. Concentrate. I am not talking about Hibernate. Can you focus on JDBC, everyone? Yes, boss. This is common logics, boss. These are common logics. Cool. These are also what logics here? Common logics. These are also common logics. These are application specific logics. What do you mean by application specific logic? They will change application to application. Application specific logics. Okay, I will explain this. I have a 20 JDBC application talking to database software. First one, select query on X table. Second one, select query on Y table. Third one, insert operation. Fourth one, update operation. See, boss, in all these 20 application, only application specific logic will change. Only application specific logic will change. Are you understanding my point there? Fine. Okay, we have to, these common logics will definitely repeat. These common logics will definitely repeat. What do you say, boss? Only this queries part will change. These logics will repeat in all 20 application either as it is or with minor changes. Or with what? Minor changes. Are you getting my point there or not there? See, boss, without knowing limitations of JDBC, if you learn Hibernate, people will laugh at you. Because the first interview question in the interview room is, okay, when JDBC is there, why are you learning Hibernate? Some people are already relaxing. Oh, all JDBC only. No, I'm presenting JDBC in a different angle. Got it? Yes. Fine. Listen carefully. Common logics are nothing but boilerplate code. Boilerplate code. Yes, boss. This is another problem that we are having. What? This one. Next. Number C. Number C. Lots of boilerplate code will be there. Lots of boilerplate code will be there. Fine. I'm talking all these things. For some of these problems, solution is there in Hibernate. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, boss. Next one. JDBC code throws. Okay, throws SQL exception, which is a checked exception, Okay, na? Checked exception. Fine, boss. What is the problem number one? Mandatory to handle. Mandatory to handle. You liked it or not liked it, you want to handle it, you don't want to handle it, but you have forced to write try catch block. You must handle it. If it is unchecked exception, if you are interested, handle it. If not interested, don't handle it. Understanding my point there. Certain times I don't want to handle because I found that is not a serious problem. But since it is a checked exception, you are forced to handle. Since it is a checked exception, you are forced to handle. Throws is a bad way of working with exception handling. Come on. Either you should handle or you should declare the exception to be thrown. To be thrown means you are not handling here, so you are postponing to next level. At least next level should handle, na? Some people are thinking that, sir, I don't write try catch block, I will write throws. Then problem is not there, na? Then problem is not there, na? Are you understanding my point? Array throws is not making you to handle in the current method. It is making caller. So one or other place you have to handle, na? If a code throw checked exception, if not in current place, at least in the other place you have to handle. So overall handling is compulsory or not there? Okay, boss. Mandatory to handle. Next. Exception propagation is not possible. See, boss, since it is a checked exception, we are forced to catch and handle. We have caught and handle. So if you really catch and handle, do you think we can propagate to caller? We can propagate to caller. Exception propagation. Exception propagation to next class or caller class is not possible if we catch and handle the exception. If we catch and handle the exception. If we catch and handle the exception, exception propagation to next class or caller class is not possible. Suppose I have a method 1. Public void method 1. I am writing try block. I am writing, okay, I am writing try catch. Catch. What is this? Exception E. Fine. End of the method 1. Here is my JDBC code. I am writing try catch. Okay, I am writing what? Try catch. Now listen carefully. I am writing try catch. Exception raised here. Control goes to catch block. When control goes to catch block, what happened? Exception is suppressed here. Exception is suppressed here. But my intention is I want to propagate the exception to the caller of the M1 method. From there, I want to suppress to another class. From there, I want to propagate to another class. Propagating means passing. But since you are forced to catch and handle the exception, when exception is raised, control goes to catch block. Their exception will be killed. Exception is suppressed here. There's a one more problem of what? Dealing with what? Checked exception or not. That's a one more issue of dealing with the checked exception or not. Are you getting my point there? Yes, you may do some other adventures to propagate here. I'm talking about basic problems, simple level problem. Suppose SQL exception is given as unchecked exception. Let us assume for a minute. Writing try catch is mandatory? No. Writing try catch is not mandatory. Cool, number 1. Since we are not catching and handling, whenever exception rises in M1 method, it will go to what? Caller. It's a caller. Maybe in the same class, in another class. There also, if you don't try and catch, it will go to what? It's a caller. Are you getting my point? Unchecked exceptions will be propagated automatically when you don't catch and handle. But when it comes to checked exception, first they will force you to catch and handle. If you catch and handle, no propagation. If you catch and handle, no propagation. For example, listen carefully. For example, 4 levels of employees are there in the organization. Everyone concentrate. Labor, that means worker, supervisor, manager, CEO. Total 4 levels of employees are there in the organization. Labor, nothing but worker, is working on the machinery. Working on the machinery. Problem raised. Problem raised. What is right? Problem raised. Are you understanding my point there? Problem raised. Problem raised. He has caught and handled. He has caught and he only caught the exception. He only handled it. That means it is not passed to admin. It is not passed to supervisor. Supervisor has not passed to manager. Manager has not passed to CEO. Do you think CEO is aware of the problem? No. CEO is aware of the problem? No. Why? Because there is he's having pressure. Okay, in that pressure, you only caught and handled it. That means he suppressed. Without solving the problem, he suppressed the problem. Without informing to superiors, you only suppressed the problem. Okay, one or other day, machinery will damage and production will be stopped or not there. Production will be stopped or not there. Suppose if you give freedom to labor, when problem comes, you need not to handle it. You can inform to us. You can inform to us. If you give freedom to that labor, then what he will do? Okay, whenever problem comes, it automatically propagate. He automatically informs to supervisor. Supervisor informs to manager. Manager informs to what? CEO. CEO will come and solve the problem or not there. CEO will come and solve the problem. When, if that freedom is there for labor, okay, you need not to handle it. You may inform to us. If you don't inform also, automatically we'll get to know. Why? Because you are not hiding, you are not managing to hide, you are not handling. Either he can inform. If you don't inform also, since he is not handling it, anyhow problem will be noticed. When the problem will not be noticed to supervisor, if he trying to hide it, if he trying to handle it, come on. Okay, boss. Now listen. Working with the try catch is like what? Labor handling the problem. Problem is raised, he started handling it. That means he started hiding the problem. Since he is hiding the problem, do you think superiors and other layer people will be aware of the problem? No. So one day what happened? The problem becomes big, production will be disturbed. Yes or no? No. Second case, suppose labor is having freedom to inform. Labor is not informing, automatically supervisor knows. When supervisor will not know, if you try to handle and hide, if he is not trying and not trying to handle and hide, automatically it will be gone to supervisor, or labor itself can inform to supervisor. Both options are there, right? Now listen, if a method throws, if JDBC code throws unchecked exception, if this SQL exception is unchecked exception, let us assume, okay, unchecked exception. So now programmer is having two choices. Either he can catch and handle, or if you don't catch and handle also, automatically it will propagate to the next pawn. Understanding my point there? Suppose if SQL exception is checked, he is having pressure to catch and handle. In that process, exception is suppressed in the current class only na. It will not propagate to caller or not. Are you understanding my point there? Overall, checked exceptions are good, unchecked exceptions are good. Tell me, my dear, checked exceptions are good or unchecked exceptions are good? Unchecked exceptions are good, not the checked exception. Everyone feel that checked exceptions are great because they are getting compile time errors. But in real time, in real world, unchecked exceptions are good. That's why you observe all latest frameworks, Spring, Hibernate, web services, most of the time they throw their exceptions as what? Unchecked exception. That's why exception handling in Spring, exception handling in Hibernate code is very, very optional. Out of 100 situation, maybe one time you will be having pressure to catch and handle. Remaining all the time, if you are interested, handle, otherwise don't handle. Okay, na? Right. Unchecked exceptions are good. Unchecked exceptions are good. Unchecked exceptions are good because they are optional to catch and handle. Catch and handle, and they're optional to catch and handle, and they support exception propagation. What is this? Propagation by default. Okay, they support exception propagation by default. Okay, boss. Right. Next, let me give my last. Oh, so many. I'm going to conduct JDBC drawback itself on full session, because without asking this question, interviewer never ask question about Hibernate. When JDBC is there, why are you learning Hibernate? What are the limitations of JDBC? That's a one question. Another question, in which situation you have used JDBC, in which situation you have used Hibernate? I'm going to address both. So that's why don't feel it is a theory. It's a big interview questions for freshers and for experienced both. Without having maturity on these concepts, you cannot enjoy Hibernate, you cannot clear interviews. Fine, boss. Okay. Last one. In JDBC, for all problems, we have single SQL exception class. Single SQL exception class. That means we don't have detailed classes, detailed exception classes for different problems. See, boss, any problem you get in JDBC SQL exception. Irritating, na? Any problem SQL exception. Any problem SQL exception. It's something like this here. Yeah, something like this. You are operating on Flipkart.com. You get any issue, they are saying internal problem, sorry for regret. Yes, payment problem, internal problem, sorry for inconvenience. Okay, coupon is not applied, internal problem, sorry for inconvenience. We'll get irritation or not? We'll get irritation or not there? Okay, your father asked, why did you fail in the exam? My health is not good. Why did you not get seat in what? So-and-so college, my health is not good. Lifelong you are carrying the same reason. Is it going to work out? For different reasons, you have to show different problems. For different problem, you have to show different reasons. For all problems, same reason. Is it going to work out? That's why. So this is, we can say, detailed exception hierarchy is not there. Detailed exception classes hierarchy is not there. That's another big problem we are having in JDBC. Okay, boss. Right. Listen, in online classes, they joined lately, they didn't listen, they slept, they say only one reason, network problem, network problem. Is it going to work out? You came late, I came late, for everything, one common reason, network problem. Is it going to work out? Network problem is there, you have to sort out. Understanding? Fine. Okay. See, I'm going to conduct one complete session on JDBC limitation. Goosebumps will come. Though you know JDBC, you never thought JDBC in this angle. Those many drawbacks I'm going to present. You'll be having full satisfactory reasons to start war mapping, nothing but Hibernate. I hope you are understanding my methodology of teaching. I'm trying to rule out, file I ruled out, ODB database I ruled out. I highlighted RDBMS. To talk to RDBMS, JDBC is there, OR mapping is there. Now I'm trying to rule out JDBC, not completely. I'm trying to highlight the problems with the JDBC so that you will be having reason. Come on. So that they will be, you will be having reason, okay, to learn war mapping, to learn, okay, Hibernate, because war mapping is nothing but Hibernate. Hibernate is nothing but war mapping. Everyone got it? Okay, boss. Tomorrow, no class. Initial Saturday, Sunday. Anyhow, we also, tomorrow, no class. Sunday, anyhow, workshop is there at 10 o'clock. Okay. Monday, we'll meet again. But don't think that every Saturday you will get holiday. No. Only this Saturday you will get holiday. Next week onwards, you will be having sessions on what? Saturdays also. Sunday workshop is there, Jira. Though you don't have Agile, come and attend, because I'm going to revise Agile also. I will revise Agile, then I will conduct session on what? Jira. This time, 2 speakers are going to speak in one workshop. We are doing small experiment in the online. Okay, 2 speakers. I called subject expert who is acting as what? Project manager. Who is acting as project manager? He's our old student, my old student 10 years back, Taushif. He's coming and going to speak about Jira along with me, so that I can give multiple people version to understand the tools, to understand the processes in real time. Everyone got it? Yes. So this Sunday, 10 o'clock Jira. So Jira link is already there in the group. In our Facebook group, link is there. Anyone can share Jira link, boss? Anyone can share Jira link? Tomorrow, no. Tomorrow, yes, for advanced Java students, special class is there, 4 p.m. Please, advanced Java things I will talk in advanced Java session only. Yeah, Jira workshop. Yes, this one. For 2 minutes, don't type anything. I have to share Jira workshop meeting ID. Yes. Can it be useful to learn Hibernate without Spring? I think without Spring, Hibernate waste, boss. Try to learn Spring first, then Hibernate. If you are learning 2 frameworks, Spring and Hibernate. If you are planning to learn 1 framework, first priority to Spring. Agile is in private mode. Make it public. Though it is not public, nothing to worry. I will revise and I will go for it. Okay, Upasana. Thank you for liking my work, madam. You are there, JDBC code object inside finally block. Company people followed this. After coming to company, I got to know that I feel happy. Okay, that's good. We always follow coding standards. Tomorrow Spring class is there. Yeah, we'll upload today's session to YouTube. Don't worry. We'll upload today's session to be ready. Yeah, I will ask team to keep Agile in public mode. Don't worry. Though you don't have Agile, nothing to come. Worry, I will revise Agile and you can attend Jira, not a issue. Jira is only one class. Only 2 hour session is sufficient. 2 hour session is sufficient. See boss, if you don't know OOPS, please wait until you complete OOPS. Are you already studied core Java OOPS in your college level? Then come and attend. Then come and attend. Come and attend. I think I answered all your questions. Sunday, regular class is not there. Hibernate does not support MongoDB. To work with MongoDB Spring Data module, you have to use nareshityoutube.com. See boss, this is our channel. This is nareshityoutube.com channel. From there you can watch the videos. youtube.com/nareshit. Please see this. See this, see this. If you go to home page, see here what is there. Yesterday's video is uploaded. Like this in the home page itself, they have uploaded. Okay, I think this one, they in the home page itself they have uploaded, right? Okay. So here we are having sessions here. We are having sessions here. Fine. You can learn Spring after Hibernate. You can learn, no problem. Sunday, is there any common topic? Not for you people. For advanced Java students, security is there. Sunday 10 o'clock Jira class. Sunday 10 o'clock Jira class. Tomorrow you can join for Spring classes, no problem. Still initial classes are happening. Today, beautiful example on exception like supervisor array. You will get so many topics like that. Don't worry. Sunday, common topic is there on servlet. Security, security. Don't type multiple times, sir. I'm listening. I'm seeing one by one, please. Yes, you can continue 7 a.m. batch of Spring from tomorrow onwards. Hibernate, same videos are uploaded to YouTube. Initial class videos will be uploaded to YouTube. Next Spring online class takes 2 months time. What is persistence in one word? Storing and managing data for long time. Storing. Persistence means storing. That's it. Spring class meeting ID. Spring class meeting ID. Yes, you can collect from admin. Srikanth sir is there now. From him you can collect. All are same videos in YouTube. Actually, one video, only one video. Today's video they have not uploaded. They have not uploaded by mistakes. Multiple times same video are kept. Advanced Java fee, I think 3,500. I think I answered all your questions. Any new questions are there? Any new questions are there? Can I use factory classes to switch database? Not easy. See, factory can switch databases, but still you have to modify the code or not. Indirectly, you are modifying the code. Yes. In our Spring course, we are covering Spring and Spring Boot. Microservices, web services, separate batch. In every course, we will learn all relevant design patterns. Like in Hibernate, we'll study a lot of design patterns like builder design pattern, DAO design pattern, factory design pattern, proxy design pattern, so many other design patterns. What if you throw exception in the exception block? You can throw, but you have to remember and do. You have to remember and do. That is also there. Spring course fee 3,000. Hibernate course fee 2,000. No registrations required for Jira. Take the ID, come and join on that day dynamically. Yes, Servlet class is there as usual at 11:10. Servlet class is there 11:10. Yes, I can take Spring Boot with microservices. Anyhow, Spring Boot will be covered in our Spring course only. Spring Boot will be covered in our Spring course only. Right. I can start every batch except core Java, boss. But it's up to the management which batch will be assigned to me. Hibernate fee is 2000 only. Spring course is 3000. So if I teach web service, I will teach only RESTful web service. I am against of teaching SOAP. It is outdated. Fine, fine. Eagerly waiting for batch, but put this word with management. Complete number of sessions, 120 sessions. For Hibernate, 75 sessions. Without Servlet JSP, you can learn Spring, but you have to do parallelly advanced Java. You have to do parallelly advanced Java. Tomorrow morning, Spring class is there. Thank you. Have a nice time. We'll meet tomorrow. Sorry, our next class of Hibernate on Monday.